All right, you guys. Next story. Andrew Gillum, the former mayor of Tallahassee, Florida, whose career has just been, I want to use a word, lambasted. Is that the word I want to use? You guys, I'm telling you, with so much promise that Andrew Gillum had, all right, he was really kind of on the fast track a little bit, but kind of, sort of, for the White House. People have their eye on Andrew Gillum. He was a good-looking, well-educated black man, spoke well. He was on CNN. He was a political, correspondent. Like I said, Tallahassee mayor, and happy with his wife and his children. And I mean, things were going very well for him. And he almost won the governorship of, is that the word? Governorship of Florida. Okay. And there was some trickery. This is the same year that Stacey Adams was, nigga, did I say Stacey Adams like the shoes? Stacey Abrams and Andrew Gillum, to me, both were robbed, because the votes were so close when they were both running for governor for respectively Florida and Georgia. They were robbed. We had to do recounts and shit, and it was some real close number, like in the hundreds, I want to say. Andrew Gillum ended up losing, and then supposedly that was what sent him into the tailspin, and he became drinking, alcoholic, and all of that. And then of course we know about the story, the very tragic, unfortunate story of him being with that man in the hotel room and overdosing and passing out and throwing up, and it was an awful fall from grace for Andrew Gillum. Okay, the fact that he's married, he's in this room with this man. I mean, and they tried to cover it up and say that he was there just talking to his friend. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess. And after that happened, I was just like, okay, well, he can kiss the whole political career goodbye. Even though, I mean, Marion Barry did, shake a leg and come back from things, right? So it wasn't impossible, but looking at things from right now, like Marion Barry had the comfort in knowing that we didn't have shit. Well, I guess we did have video, but it was like surveillance, and it was like, undercover, and it was all grainy and all this. And but the Andrew Gillum thing, social media on top of the fact that we had all those pictures and all, yeah, it was totally different for Andrew Gillum. Way more scrutiny, way more eyes on his story, everything. So anyway, that happened. Political career down the drain, addiction issues. Then finally, when he was ready to come back out, he and his wife had an interview, and he came out as bisexual, which I think that everybody at least knew that. I mean, I've heard stories that he's just flat out gay, but bisexual is when we trying to spoon feed it to you. Y'all ain't always comfortable with just motherfucker coming out being gay altogether. So first, let me say I'm bisexual, so you can at least know that I fuck with everybody. And then So anyway, his wife is there, supportive. But it still was not the same. He looked broken. And he looked like somebody that was trying to get back on track, but I was just like, this has got to be very difficult for him and his wife. And I was really actually surprised to see RJ up there, and I really am surprised to hear that they are still together, because I had already wrote sis off. I was just like, she about to be like, fuck this, I am out, deuces. I guess they've still been together. And they've been fairly quiet, you guys. So yesterday when I'm scrolling through Instagram and I go by Ice Cream Convos, y'all follow Ice Cream Convos. I love that. Instagram, it's not, she gives the stories, but it's not problematic. It ain't shit that's just, it ain't the shade room. I'm just going to say that. But she definitely has great stories and writes well. Anyway, y'all follow that Instagram. But anyway, I saw in there that he was in trouble. He had been indicted for like wire fraud. I was just like, oh God, what the fuck didn't happen now? Okay. So I read the story and they say that, he along with his, with his homegirl, let me get the story. Hold on. Andrew Gillum and his codependent, Sharon Janet Letman Hooks. They say that they conspired to commit wire fraud and illegally soliciting and obtaining funds from businesses and individuals and promising shit to these people and businesses that they knew that they were not going to keep, they weren't going to do, and got this money under false pretenses. Then the money that they did get, supposedly they went, Letman Hooks, she owned a company called PMP Communications, okay? And so what they did was they funneled some of that money that they got into PMP Communications, and then they put Gillum on the fucking payroll, and supposedly the company was paying Gillum illegally. They said that Gillum was using the money for personal use and that it was fraudulent. And so they both have been indicted, 10 counts each of wire fraud. And then they also charged Andrew Gillum with one count of lying to the FBI, basically giving false statements to the FBI. So when you add all of this up, giving false statements to the FBI, I think is 5 years maximum in prison. The conspiracy to commit wire fraud, I think a maximum of 20 years. So I guess he's facing 25 years in prison. Okay. And she's facing 20 years in prison herself. I mean, just a horrible story. You know, people are all just like, well, why is the DOJ so intent and hell-bent on putting Andrew Gillum through? You know why. Well, why are you even asking that question? First of all, he's one of these. Okay. Secondly, if he did the shit illegally, they can't wait. They cannot wait to be able to come after you and legitimately have a reason why to do it. Okay. Now, yeah, we know that it's many other people of the other persuasion that has done this very same thing and got away with it and all. And all I can tell you is I'm old school, and I go back to the days when my mom and my daddy told me, Roxanne, you black and you're going to have to do shit a little bit more. You're going to have to do shit a little bit harder. You're going to have to do everything plus in order to compete with the other folks. You're not going to be able to do the same shit that they do. Okay. And is it fair? No, it's not fair. Absolutely not. Okay. Everybody should be able to be on the same playing field, but fact of the matter is that's not true. And so if Andrew Gillum, and this is all because I would hope that if they had this man on the payroll at this communications company, that he legitimately was doing a job for that company and was getting paid. Like, you had to know that, you know, if you do have a target on your back, like Andrew Gillum has said, he put out a statement saying that he's had a target on his back ever since he was the mayor of Tallahassee, then you know good and damn well you can't be on somebody's damn payroll and you're not working there, or you're not doing the job that, you know, you're getting paid for and all this. So yeah, you know, so it's unfortunate, of course, because he's doing what maybe a lot of his not constituents, a lot of his peers have done as well. But I done already told y'all, okay, motherfuckers, we is black, and that's just what it is. It's too bad, but that's what it is. So they're going to throw the book at him if they can. Okay. Now he's on Instagram and he's waxing religious. Okay. And saying how, let me see, what was I put one of his statements in here. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That's Job 13:15, you know, and he's saying that he's innocent and that his legal team will make sure that everybody out there knows that he's innocent. So, I mean, you know, this is just something that we'll have to see play out. There's a lot of corruption in politics. We know that. So it's not impossible that he could have done these things. I would just like to think that that he would have more sense than that, and thinking that he could get away with it. So, I mean, we'll see. But him and his codependent, Letman Hooks, yeah, they got a lot of shit coming for them, y'all. We'll keep our ears to the street, and when I know more, I'll let you know more. All right, you guys, next story. I gotta hurry up and get through these because the nigga got to get to work. Next story, Jussie Smollett. This is just something small, you guys. I really wish I could be kind of in Jussie's mind and just really try to understand. I mean, Jussie really truly believes that he's innocent. It's an interesting phenomenon, okay? But I'm gonna tell you what, he is going to continue to uphold that he is innocent until the day he dies, I believe. This is definitely something that he's never going to admit to. And I wonder if there's a point in your life where you actually believe the bullshit. When you actually believe the bullshit, and then you somehow in your mind, I don't know, you guys. Listen, I've always felt like Jussie, I didn't always feel like he was guilty, but very soon after all of the facts started coming out, I was just like, Jussie just got caught up and he just did something stupid. Yeah, but I believe that he definitely set up this whole thing with the Africans, okay? The African guys is a little offensive to just say the Africans, but the two African brothers that he was dealing with. So yeah, I mean, Jussie goes on Sway's. He has a like satellite or a podcast, a satellite radio show or something. And he was on there and he was just talking about, you know, how he's innocent. And if he was guilty, that would make him an asshole. He's not an asshole. Therefore, he is not guilty. You see how that logic worked for Jussie? I mean, Jussie is still saying that my whole thing is this, Jussie. You went to jail. A lot of people felt that you didn't need to go to jail, and your family fought very hard and got you out. Okay, we have so much other shit going on in the world that the world basically have forgotten about what Jussie Smollett did. And you were out, you were free, and you know, we just kind of expected you to go on with your life. But you know, him resurfacing and bringing it up over and over, it's just sort of like, don't you get tired of talking about this shit? I mean, I guess if I felt like I was innocent, I would just keep on saying it. I mean, I really do. I mean, it's a really interesting to get into the mind of somebody that I think he really believes it. So yeah, I mean, you know, I guess, but I just was like, Jussie, why you can't just go off and go get a project and do something and make us remember the reason why we all liked you to begin with? You know, maybe try to get on that campaign. Just trying to get back into your career. It's going to be very hard for people to want to even see you on the screen, whether it's the TV or the movies, but it happens. You know, black people, we are forgiving, okay? We'll hold your ass to the cross. But then, you know, all we need is one good comeback story and, you know, we'll be back on your side. Or, you know, people at least will be like, okay, he been through it. Like, he got this movie. Like, let's let him do this, okay? We at least will give him that. So that's why I was just like, why don't he just try to just kind of be out of everybody's face and then hit us with the, you know, hit us with a left, hit us with a right. I'm gonna knock the pussy out like fight night. Hit him with a left, hit him with a right. I'm gonna knock the pussy. That song used to be the jam. Y'all remember that? I'm just like, Sway, I mean, just, we don't need you to be on Sway. We don't need you to keep talking about it. We know that you believe that you're innocent and that you were never going to say that you did any of that, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about it. You're not going back to court. They're not going to arrest you again. Like, all that's done. So go put a fucking movie out or do something. Sing or whatever. And leave us the fuck alone about this mess with the, you know, on the coldest night in Chicago, okay? Because we don't want to hear it no more. At least I know I don't. Y'all seen it? Jussie said that he not no asshole, so he not guilty. Okay. All right, you guys, next story up. So, T.I., the intelligent adjacent, he is very upset with VH1 for canceling The Family Hustle. Is that the name of the show? I think that was the name of the show, The Family Hustle, with his family. And they had kind of revamped it so it had Toya of that, you know, who used to be married to Lil Wayne, had her family on there, and then also had Monica's family on there, and LaToya Luckett's family on there. As time went on, and I think that maybe VH1 realized that we really like Tiny, but we wasn't really fucking with T.I. like that, they kind of pulled him back a little bit, and they kind of let the families of all these other people kind of shine. And Tiny, you know, it was like T.I.'s sister, the one who died, and then, what's her name? Precious, I think. I don't know if that's her name, I'm sorry. But the sister who had passed, and Tiny, it was like more of them, and then the other girls and all of that. And T.I. was kind of in the background. Well, anyway, when all of the sexual allegations had came up, VH1 hurried up and wanted to be on the right side of shit, so they canceled the show. And T.I. is pissed about it because he felt like VH1 should have done some sort of proper sexual misconduct or, you know, some sort of investigation before they just flat 100% cut the show. And because they did not do that investigation, now T.I. is on his Instagram, and he's got a song called Fuck 'Em, I think, and he's saying how they were unprofessional and that, you know, they unfairly targeted the show, not even knowing that they hadn't done anything. Because you guys know that T.I. and Tiny never were found guilty for anything. They've always maintained that they were innocent. Nothing has happened with that case. They threw out a lot of the case. I mean, just a whole bunch of nothing that came with it. And so T.I. is pissed about it, and he feels like VH1 was some bullshit, you know, for dropping the show like that. Now, we remember that VH1 even had an executive that had come out, or she was connected to the show in some kind of way, a producer or something, who actually, remember, she came out and said that she spoke with Glam University, the girl, and that she believed, or spoke with some of the girls that was in part of the lawsuit, and that she actually believed it. And I think that was where VH1 was kind of in this thing where it was just sort of like, okay, people that actually work here believe that this is possible. How is this going to work? You know, so she had came out and she had said, anyway, they ended up canceling the show. And, you know, T.I. is pissed about it. It's funny to me that he's not complaining about many of the other gigs that he lost. Like, he lost a big gig being, you know, cut from Ant-Man. Okay, like, you want to stay on a Marvel franchise, you know, on a franchise, Ant-Man being part of the Avengers and shit, even though the Avengers is pretty much done, the movie, you know, the movies are done, but, I mean, y'all know Marvel Comics, those movies branch off and I mean, that's some shit that you can be a part of for years and make a lot of money from, okay? Most of them guys, they don't even do shit else other than the Marvel franchise movies that they do. You know, if you get big enough in there, and even though he wasn't a main character, he still needed to stay in there because he was enough, you know? And so, he's not complaining about that, you know? And that to me was way bigger, you know, than him losing, the show. But he's mad at VH1. He's saying that they're punishing these women. You're supposed to be protecting women, but now you're punishing the women because Toya, LaToya, Tiny, and Monica are out of jobs. I mean, they're not out of jobs. They have other stuff to do, but you know what I'm saying. So he's all upset about it, and you know, he's doing his regular T.I. thing. His regular T.I. IA. His regular IA stuff on Instagram. And I just want to know when this damn Red Fox movie coming out. Is he really doing a Red Fox movie? Because I'm tired of seeing him with these, whatever the fuck these twists are. I feel like Jay-Z has given a whole bunch of people license to just be looking any old fucking kind of way. I don't give a fuck, y'all. I can't stand I love Jay-Z's more clean cut look. I know he going through whatever he going through, and his child, whatever. But now T.I. is on it with these old struggly ass twists and shit. And I was just like, y'all keep telling me he gonna be in the Red Fox movie. That's why he on the comedy circuit and all of that. And I'm just over it. Like, hurry up. And I don't even know why he would need to look like that because of Red Fox. Because Red Fox ain't never had a fucking twist in his head. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm over it. Okay, and I've seen T.I. in person, and with all of his unlikable qualities, that T.I. is fine. T.I. is fine. He is good looking. Okay, and I just would like to see the good looking IA, at least, if we gotta be subjected to him and all of his damn full of fucking niggotry logic on the damn Instagram. So anyway, that's it. What y'all think about it? Do you think he has a point? I guess he does have a point, but I guess VH1 was just like, we're not taking no chances. We fixing to get off of this, okay? But you guys let me know if you think he has a point. He does somewhat have a point. VH1, I guess, could have made things right and brought them back, but I guess they just looked at it and just was like, yeah, no. Reality shows, all of the VH1 reality shows really have gone downhill. Like, we don't even really hear much about it. Like, Love and Hip Hop franchises, who knows what's happening there? And y'all know that used to be my number one. Like, that was my money maker. And now it's just sort of like, I don't even know when the show, if it's coming back, what? Okay, now that Mona gone, child, I could care less. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think about the IA and his comments. All right, you guys, next story, Suge Knight. Okay, mama named him Marion Knight. They tell us that his wrongful death, he had a wrongful death court case. It ended in a mistrial. Okay, now let me rewind for you guys. If you don't remember why he's even in this wrongful death court case to begin with, and ultimately why he's in jail right now, well, it is because, remember, Suge Knight was salty already with the Straight Outta Compton movie. Okay, he had an issue with it. He was giving them grief about it. Evidently, the Straight Outta Compton movie had either filmed a scene at this, I don't even remember, was it a restaurant? Some sort of like mom and pop restaurant. And they had just filmed a scene, or they just had like a PR event there, something. Okay. And all of the folks was there earlier, but then I guess a lot of the people had left. Suge Knight ended up going up to the restaurant and got into a confrontation with what was the guy's name? I got it in my notes. Hold on. He got into a confrontation with Clay Bone Sloan, and you guys are familiar with him. If you pull, go and Google his name, you're gonna know him because he always plays a gangster in movie. Like, he's the gangster guy. Okay, but this they got into a confrontation. They got into a fight. Suge Knight ended up hitting Bone, and it was fixing to be on. It was about to be on, and if they could get to Suge, they was gonna probably kill his ass, right? And so Suge was in his truck, and in an effort to hurry up and get out of there, he backed up, he threw his car in the reverse, and there was a gentleman by the name of Terry Carter who was in the parking lot. So when he backed his car up, he ended up hitting Terry Carter, ran over him. I almost want to say he ran over him twice. He backed up and then he went and he hurried up and sped out of the parking lot. Honestly, I don't even know if Suge Knight realized that he had hit him, because he looked like he was scared as fuck. Okay, and then he was like frantically trying to get out of there. Because it was like all this, they was like, they was trying to get in the truck or some shit like that. I'm going off of memory, but this is close enough of the story, you guys. So he ended up killing Terry Carter, and that is why Suge is in jail now, because he killed that guy. He didn't do it on purpose, but it was just sort of like, well, you was there, you was causing problems, you was fighting, you was trying to hurry up and get the hell on, and you ran his ass over. Okay, so he ends up in jail. They had a civil case that his wife, Terry Carter's wife, had filed against Suge Knight, because he needs to be held liable at least. I guess they're trying to get money out of this. Well, it's a mistrial, because they're saying that there was what was the split? Bring my notes back over. They're saying that the jury deadlocked at 7-5 in favor of Suge being at fault, but there needed to be at least 9. There needed to be at least 9 in favor of, you know, whatever side that they were going to be on. It needed to be 9. So the majority had to be 9. And if we would have had 9 in favor of him being at fault, then he would have been liable for that as well. But since they didn't, yeah, there was a mistrial. They actually tried to turn in their verdict on Tuesday, and the judge was like, you know, go back in, you guys try harder, try to see what you can, you know, if you can come up with a majority here. And they went back the next day. They said after 30 minutes, it was clear that nobody was changing their mind, and we would have just gonna spend the whole day of just wasting time. So yeah, they came on back, told the judge, there's no chance, we're not changing our minds, this is it. And because they didn't have any kind of majority there, then it was a mistrial. Compton Superior Court Judge Thomas Long said that, yeah, it's a mistrial. So we'll see if they, I don't even know how this works. Again, my real rock star lawyers out there, I want you guys to let me know. I mean, when it's a mistrial like this, I mean, I guess they can bring it back up if they want to. So we'll see if they try the case again. But I mean, I know that Compton is already, you know, struggling financially, and doing another court case big like this probably would wear very hard on the operations of the government there. So I don't even know if it's gonna make it back. I don't even know if it's gonna make it back to the docket. But yeah, you guys, that's one less thing for now anyway that Mr. Knight has to worry about. He has been declared, well, it's been declared a mistrial. And then lastly, you guys, one of the rock stars was in my comments, and they were saying how they felt that the Diddy live, they had an Instagram, Diddy and Young Miami had an Instagram live the other day. I think she was getting ready for something and he was somewhere else, and they were live talking back and forth with each other. I didn't even really watch the whole thing. I just saw a little part of it. But she said, this particular rock star said that it was cringy, and they actually felt like Puffy and Carisha's whole little relationship is like cringe-worthy, and her show and the interview that they did on her podcast show and all that, they just not feeling it. And they posed the question to me, did I feel like they were using each other? I mean, you know, the whole thing is this. I'm cool with, I actually think that they're a cute couple, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask, you know, but when everybody is okay with whatever their setup is of their relationship, if they both okay with it, then I'm not mad. Okay, so Diddy is going to be a forever bachelor in my eyes, in my opinion, and he's gonna date around. And if the women are okay with that, then, you know, and if the women are still able to go, see, the thing is, I think back in the day, Puffy felt like he should be able to go date and fuck everybody else, and the women couldn't. Okay, and so he had like this harem of women that he just had a fucking stronghold on. But now he done loosened up now, and shit is different now. And so now he's dating, and everybody just has to be cool with it. But you go do what you want to do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. Now, deep down inside, do I believe that Carisha is actually seeing other people? I probably don't think that. I mean, she could be, but I also feel like she probably does really like Diddy, but she knows that she needs to try to keep her feelings in check. I mean, she's playing like a little bit of a dangerous game. It's hard when you start really kind of feeling the way for somebody. You just have to really remember what we are in here, you know. So yeah, it can try to change up, but for right now, no, I don't think that anybody is using each other, because I think that everybody is clear on what this is. Is there a potential for it to get messy? Of course it's a potential for it to get messy, because there's many women that would like the attentions, and we know of one in particular who would love the attentions of Puffy, and you know, so it can be. And then, you know, Puffy is my generation, and these young motherfuckers, y'all niggas is crazy. It's totally different with the new generation. And I think it's clear that Puffy is going to continue on with the new generations. He going to be one of them, you know, old men that's still going to be dating young women. So, it can get dicey for Puffy too. But, Yeah, and right now I'm cool with it. Like, I don't think anybody's using each other, or they could be, but you know, if everybody is in agreement of using each other, I mean, City Girls is hot right now, and so is you know, Puffy. He's trying to make a comeback with his music and everything, and I mean, I like the song that he has with what's his name, Bryson Tiller. So, I mean, it's just sort of like, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So, I mean, y'all let me... Oh, and speaking of City Girls real fast, they have a... Oh, God, I gotta get off of here. They have a show that they're executive producing with Issa Rae. I think it's called Rap Chicks or Rap Girls. Child, I did not get the name. I'll put it on the screen here. But they're producing it with Issa Rae. So, you know, they're expanding their portfolio, and they're doing more than just rap. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to do this for the rest of your life, so it's smart to be a part of many more things and get your name out there. I think that's what the girls are doing. At least that's what Carisha's doing. I need JT to start stepping it up as well. But yeah, congratulations to them, because that show is going to be streaming on HBO Max, and I think it's going to do well because everything that Issa touched turns to gold. It may not stay gold. It might, you know, but it definitely turns to some form of gold, and it lasts for a long time. You know, Issa, you know, she is the godmother for YouTube, and people, she's like one of the biggest stories that have come from YouTube. So everybody loves to see shit come from her. Definitely kind of out the mud. Not saying that she was, you know, in the streets like that, but just kind of getting it from the mud. And, you know, she's one of those stories that we love to hear and see. So congratulations to them. But back to Puffy and Carisha. Yeah, I'm fine with it, y'all. I mean, I'm fine. Are y'all fine with it, or what do you think? You guys, I gotta get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.